Today's encouraging word comes from Matthew chapter 27, beginning in verse 26. Then released he Barabbas unto them, and when he had scourged Jesus, he delivered him to be crucified. And the soldiers of the governor took Jesus into the common hall, and gathered unto him the whole band of soldiers. And they stripped him, and put on him a scarlet robe. And when they had planted a crown of thorns, they put it on his head, and a reed in his right hand. And they bowed the knee before him, and mocked him, saying, Hail, King of the Jews! And they spit upon him, and they took the reed and smote him on the head. And after that they had mocked him, they put the robe off of him, and they put on his own raiment on him, and they led him away to crucify him. What I want you to think about today is I believe that too many times that we read these words and we know what they mean, but we really don't let them sink in. This is a replica of the nail that they drove into Jesus' hands and to his feet. What I want you to do today is to read these words and then read them over. And then read them over again. I want you to let the reality of what Jesus did truly sink in. That they spit on him, that they mocked him, that they beat him with a rope that had stones in the ends of it, that when they hit him, it ripped his flesh. That they made him carry his own wooden cross up that hill of Golgotha. They laid him on that cross, and they nailed spikes like this through his hands and in his feet. And then they lifted him up, and the cross shoved it into the ground. And he hung there and bled and died for the forgiveness of your sins. Meditate on that today. Let the real reality of that sink in. That Jesus suffered the most cruelest death that mankind could ever think of. That he took upon himself the sin of the whole world, him being sinless. And yet he took upon himself the sin of the whole world. And he did it joyfully so that you and I could escape from the penalty of sin and be free of the bonds of death and the grave. Let that sink in today of what Jesus freely did to set you free. Continue to pray for your neighbors and those around you. Continue to pray for those that have this virus and those that are working to heal and help them. And continue to pray that God will heal our land. Thank you.